Sign up to The Athletic and read a sensible transfers piece about your team. Real Madrid are currently between eras, stuck between the remnants of the side that won 3 European Cups and a younger developing hub of players who tease a return to that kind of level. But that seems quite far off. Real scraped through their Champions League group after a series of mixed performances and domestically have suffered home losses to Alaves and Cadiz. But they're still competitive at the top of La Liga and, of course, will remain a contender in Europe for as long as they're involved. Off the pitch, like every other club, Real have suffered financially. Nevertheless, this feels like a time to prospect. Over in Catalonia, Barcelona are wrestling a range of different political and football issues, and with Lionel Messi's departure possibly also on the horizon, this would be the opportune moment for Florentino Perez and Real to steal a march. And if that's the attitude they do take, we think they should focus on 3 areas: central midfield, centre-back, and with a little less urgency, centre-forward. Now, with Toni Kroos and Luka Modric ageing, Real need to complete a future midfield that will comprise Casemiro in an anchoring role, and Fede Valverde on the right of a 3. They need some creative sparkle and someone who can provide some thrust, and that can be Paul Pogba, who's approaching the end of his time at Manchester United and who's always had a keen admirer in Zinedine Zidane. And that admiration is mutual. Pogba has described the prospect of playing for Zidane as a dream for anyone who likes football, and has made little secret of his interest in Real. And whatever issues he's experienced in the Premier League, there's little doubt that he remains one of the most gifted and complete vertical passers in the game, and that his range of abilities, including ball carrying, creativity, and his goal threat, might be a thrilling way of connecting that midfield with its forward line. And of course, Pogba is a certified star of the game, a footballing celebrity who would restore some of the sheen to Real Madrid, while also adding to their commercial armoury. Handily, he's been devalued by his time in England, no longer quite able to command the same fees or wages, so for once, Man United and Mino Raiola might be forced to compromise. Maybe, and it would still depend on interest elsewhere. So, should Real choose a different path? Vasco da Gama's 19-year-old Bruno Gomes would be a deeper sitting, less creative option, but one with a deceptive change of pace, a sure first touch, and an eclectic passing range which might suit Real's attacking play down the flanks. Uni Calafat will presumably know all about him, as most likely will a range of South American scouts at all sorts of other European clubs. Sergio Ramos's contract situation remains tenuous, and even if an extension is signed, there's an obvious need to identify Rafael Varane's long-term partner. Nacho is also in his 30s, while Eder Militao remains a project. So we're after someone who can bring permanence and pedigree, and Leipzig is the place to find that, where it's a coin flip between Ibrahima Konate and Dayot Upamecano. Now, Konate might actually be the better player with the greater potential, but Upamecano is Tifo's pick, simply because he feels more like a Real Madrid signing. The competition for him is greater, his reputation is bigger, and any unveiling would be more of an event. Moreover, he's the sort of commanding, driving defender who would suit Madrid's left side, where there's more onus to carry the ball forwards. He's actually excellent in possession, standing out even among this generation. And it's easy to see him becoming a dominant defender in La Liga. Upamecano isn't just physically large, he's physically large and he understands how to use that size, imposing himself on attackers without fouling and taking the ball away without being clumsy or rough. He renewed his contract in 2020, committing him to Leipzig until 2023, but as of this summer, that will, according to German magazine Kicker, include a release clause of 42 million euros. Now, if that's too much in the current climate, Real could always stay in Germany but head to Munich and take advantage of the impasse which will see David Alaba leave Bayern in the summer. Alaba is clearly of a different profile to Upamecano, but he's an almost peerless ball carrier in that area of the pitch. He's blessed with a good recovery pace, and of course he has exceptional passing ability with his left foot. A shorter-term option, yes, Alaba is now 28, but one with a blindingly obvious upside. Karim Benzema's emergence as the club's talisman was one of the stories of last season. That was very much his league title. His form remains good too. And while Luka Jovic hasn't quite been a success to date, Zidane isn't dependent on the Serbian for any output. So Real are well stocked in that area. But possibly aside from Hugo Duro, who continues to score goals for Castilla, the club has few elite forward prospects coming through. And that leaves us looking towards the future and a player who'd be able to acclimatise while Benzema enjoys his Indian summer and Jovic finds his feet. Now our pick is PSV's blur of motion, Donyell Malen. He's right-footed, but with a tendency to drift left and cut back inside, a trait he actually shares with Benzema. And he has a full repertoire of finishes. Helpfully for a Madrid forward line with so many dangerous parts, his combination play is also really good, and he's capable of working little triangles down that left side with fullbacks attacking midfielders or fellow forwards. Now he's not an A-list player, but that might be a good thing. Alternatively, Real could expand their portfolio of South American talent and invest in Sao Paulo's 20-year-old Brenner. He's an old-fashioned kind of centre-forward, quite predatory, and is starting to score regularly in the Brasileiro. South American football expert Tim Stillman is an admirer and expects to see him in Europe soon, but warns that Brenner's early success has come in a 4-4-2 rather than as a lone forward. A talent then, but one with caveats. If you want to read a sensible transfers piece about your team, now you can. We've expanded the series across The Athletic, with dedicated journalists covering each Premier League team. And today you can sign up for £1 per week by visiting the link in the description. You'll get access to the full array of football coverage, plus in-depth coverage about teams across 10 other sports. Thank you for watching today's video.